you want to kick us off with 10 Mile Smile then, Grant?
Absolutely. So this was released at the kind of tail end of last year on the 29th of December 2023 on Floortom Productions. It's 2 minutes and 53 seconds long, so just under kind of 3 minutes, and it kind of feels as if it's over in a blink of an eye. The title kind of sounded really familiar to me, and I couldn't quite tell whether it was a kind of turn of phrase or if I kind of knew it from a song title somewhere. But I think you kind of told me in the last podcast that we did that it was a cover. And as it turns out, it was a cover of a song of the same title from a 2012 movie called Spike Island, which is about 5 pals trying to gain entry into the now Stone Roses iconic 1990 Spike Island gig. The song itself is played by the actors in the film, but was actually written by Tim Wheeler from Ash, Chad Peck from Kestrel's best mate. Obviously, we've kind of interviewed Chad Peck previously on the podcast, and a composer by the name of Ian Eshkoury. I've probably totally butchered his name there, but he's got some serious film and kind of musical credentials, having worked on the likes of Layer Cake and with the likes of David Gilmour from Pink Floyd fame, Coldplay, Annie Lennox, and Katie Tunstall. And I think he's also worked with like I can Take That and stuff like that as well, if you kind of look into him. The song itself kind of perfectly encapsulates the feeling and the vibe of the time, to the point where you could be forgiven for thinking it's a kind of straight up Stone Roses or In Spiral Carpets cover. Jay Taulier's rendition is pretty much a straightforward cover of the song from the film. That's not a criticism by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's kind of done it really well, and I think it's kind of brilliantly executed. The song feels immediately warm, bright and uplifting. The guitar riff feels very reminiscent of the Stones and kind of channels some serious John Squire-esque vibes. The vocals kick in fairly early on the track. I think it's maybe about the kind of 30-second mark. They're bold, confident. I think the pre-chorus leading into the main chorus section where the vocals kind of layer up a wee bit. It's just a delight to listen to and lifts the song to a whole new level. It's a delight, a total delight to listen to. And kind of those warm, kind of glowing moments in the song feel reminiscent of the Stone Roses song I Am the Resurrection, which is kind of one of my favourite Stone Roses tracks. So this was kind of right up my street. The only criticism that I have of this song is that it's over too soon. It just kind of burns out really, really quickly, and and that's it. You know what I mean? You can never have too much of a good thing. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. You know, I was kind of reading an article in the Northern Scot, and by the sounds of things, it had done really quite well previously, reaching number 3 in the iTunes rock charts. Totally well deserved. Like, I absolutely loved it. And it is worthwhile saying as well that we maybe kind of mentioned this in the last podcast, but Jay Taulier is part of the Elgin-based indie rock quartet, the Acrylics. Their debut EP, Senseless Acts, came out on the 3rd of November, again, last year, and it's really worth a listen. It sounds like it wouldn't be all out of place in that kind of indie landscape of the kind of noughties and 2010s. It's kind of got smacks of The View, The Libertines, The Rifles, The Enemy, and perhaps more modern bands like Catfish and the Bottlemen, maybe. The opening track, Riley, I Wanna, is really good. Also, I think it's a 4-track EP. It's the last track on there, Take My Number, is a really good track as well. So yeah, I absolutely loved this, man. And I think in terms of a single, it hits every point. So it was a strong 10 out of 10 for me.
Oofed. So I've said that as far as cover versions go, it's a 10 out of 10. So in which I mean that it's, you know, it is a 10 out of 10 cover of a song. I've given an 8 out of 10 as far, you know, as a song, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But as a cover version, I think it's a 10 out of 10. And just because it, you know, like you said, it sounds just like an indie rock song from the 90s. You know, sounds like Stone Roses, sounds a bit like Oasis, wouldn't sound out of place in a playlist of similar artists from that era. And this is a really great version of the song, and Jay Taulier does well to kind of maintain that sort of nostalgic sound, which makes sense. I mean, I read that same Northern Scot article where he talks about Spike Island being his favourite film and Stone Roses and Oasis being among his favourite bands. So it kind of makes sense that he knows that sound inside out. You know, credit where credit's due. It made it to number 3 in iTunes rock chart as well, so pretty successful song. Have you seen Spike Island?
No, I was just going to say that I've never seen it. I've heard it's really good. It's got a few kind of familiar faces in it. It's got the young guy, I can't remember his name now, that was in Shameless. Remember, I think he used to be on Channel 4 years ago. But I watched the video, I watched the video of the kind of track, 10 Mile Smile, and everybody in the YouTube comments were saying, like, I wish they'd release this as a kind of single, and now it's available for folk to listen to. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of happy people.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I haven't seen Spike Island either. I never knew it existed before this. And when you said that it was from the film Spike Island, I was like, is that like a fucking King Kong movie or something? But I think I was thinking of like Skull Island or something like that. So I was a bit confused. But yeah, it sounds like a sort of cool, like music orientated road movie kind of thing. So it'd be quite decent. And like you say, the Acrylics, their EP. Yeah, I like that song, Riley I Wanna, as well. I said it was a bit like Arctic Monkeys and Libertines. And I like the third song, Walk Away, which is a bit of a belter. I'm less keen on the other two songs, which are a bit slower.
It's West Beach and then the one that I've mentioned, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take My Number.
So yeah, I mean, this was a panic pick for me because I had completely forgotten to actually write a single down for you. So luckily my niece had recommended, Jay's one of her pals, so she'd recommended this to me. So,
oh right, okay, cool.
You know, Elgin's a pretty small place. So yeah, I think I was turned out to be quite a good pick in the end. So
it definitely was a good pick one.
Yeah, awesome. So that was 10 Mile Smile by Jay Taulier.